So what is it that makes the holy relationship holy? What do we really mean by the word holy? Holy relationship, we know that holy is another word for loving, which is why we've been emphasizing loving relationship, using that word more, because I feel like it makes it a little more practical. If I say, hey, go be in holy relationship to something, you're sort of like, okay, let me think about what that looks like for a minute. How does the Buddha act in relationship? But if I just say go be in loving relationship, there's an intuitive grasp that happens when we use that word. But holy is just another word for loving, right? So that's what makes the holy relationship holy. But in terms of being in relationship, we can also see the holiness of the holy relationship through the fact that being in relationship are inseparable. Because to be in relationship requires being first. So this is the non-dual vision of the creator, of God, of the source, is that in its original state as prime creator, it just is. There's nothing else beside it. So the source, in a sense, can't be in relationship to anything but itself in the state of pure being. So it is itself, but it can't really know itself. Why? Because being is expressed through relationship. Yeah? God needed to make something that it could be in relationship to in order to express its being and its nature as love. So when we're being in loving relationship, we are participating in that sacred communion that the Creator has with all of the universe. So our being is our power. Being is power, but we can't know the power of being without relationship, right? Jesus said, all power in heaven and in earth has been given to me. Jesus said that all power on heaven and earth has been given to me. Why? Because I inherited my Father's nature. I inherited my Father's being when I came into this incarnation. So I still retain all of the power of God's being. That was Jesus's awareness. And so that means that's a fourth density level of awareness. Yeah? So being without relationship is what the Buddhists call emptiness. Emptiness is the view of the absolute from the Zen Buddhist perspective, because it's God and God's most original nature before it could even be in relationship. So it's like God knows itself in that state, or God is itself in that state, but it doesn't really know itself without relationship. So in these teachings, we're taking God's nature one step further past emptiness into relationship. As soon as emptiness vibrates within itself and begins to create form, it immediately is in relationship. Has to be, right? To the form that is emanating from itself. So like, take that as an example for how you're supposed to be in the world, in your life. If that's what God is doing, then that's what we ought to be doing. Or when we become self-actualized, it's what we will do naturally. Be in loving relationship to everything. Think of relationship is like the connective tissue of the universe. Like if you think of the universe as a muscle, relationship would be like the fascia inside of the muscle, right? It's that connective tissue that allows the muscle to be in communication with itself everywhere all at once. All the information can travel through the muscle instantaneously because of that fascia, that connective tissue where the nervous system flows through. So relationship in this sense really is like the nervous system of the universe. It's the connecting point of all things, relationship. So when God established the universe, he established eternal relationship, eternal loving relationship. So it's like how you are being in relationship is what reveals your being. Like, do you want to know who you are as an authentic divine expression? Do you want to find your authenticity? Then you got to be in relationship to see it, right? Because everything's within you. All potential is within you. All abundance is within you, but you can't see it without relationship to express it through. Because relationship is what? Giving and receiving. So what you're giving, what you're sharing, what you're emanating is who you are in that moment through that relationship. Like only your being can engage in relationship. It's being that's in the relationship, not your body, right? The body's never truly the thing that's in a relationship. It appears like it is because it's being animated by our beingness. But like when you have a dead body, can that body sit up on its own and have relationship with something? Can the body without the consciousness within it do anything to be in relationship? So even though we act out relationship through the body, it's our being, our essence, our spirit that's always the one participating in the actual relationship. So this is where our uniqueness is seen and expressed and discovered. You discover your uniqueness. You discover your unique flavor of the divine as you engage in relationship. So it is the case with everybody in your life. No one has the same relationship to anything that you have because God is infinite. Its expression is infinite. So it's not as if being in loving relationship makes us this sort of automaton that only has a few possible reactions to something, right? We all express love uniquely because we're all unique. So if expressing love is how we be of service, each one of us is going to give that love in a slightly unique way. Because no two one of us are alike. So this is why we can see that it's called the holy relationship. Because relationship is where your being shines. And your being is what makes it holy. Only in holy relationship is your being truly revealed. Because anything else is a special relationship where only the ego is being revealed, right? If you're not in loving relationship, then you're in some kind of egoic relationship, a special relationship based on taking and keeping. So you can't reveal your true nature. You can't be authentic in a special relationship. So this is why we emphasize that being in loving relationship is fourth density consciousness. This is the only practice that we really need to become a fourth density being, right? Our twice daily practice that we learn in 40 AP, that's just adding fuel to the fire, but it's not the fire itself, right? No amount of yoga practices and breath work and meditation could ever take you to fourth density if your heart's not involved and leading the way. If it's not your desire, if it's not your devotion to raise your consciousness to a fourth density level, all that yoga can't do you any good, right? It's only there to synergize and amplify what we're already doing. But loving relationship is the fire itself. Being in loving relationship is the fire that we can stoke with yoga, meditation, breath work, and other practices. So when we get to that point, as we keep saying here, that our only response to every situation is love, then we have actualized fourth density consciousness in ourself. So very simple, right? Very, very simple. It's simple in concept and it's simple in practice. May not feel simple to be loving all the time, to practice being loving, but even though it begins perhaps not feeling easy, it's a practice that carries so much inertia to it that you start feeling more and more happy, more and more loving, more joyous, more peaceful as you're being loving. And so then it carries its own momentum and the response starts to flow out of you naturally. Like the wheel of love is spinning so fast in the heart chakra that now that it just has its own inertia in every situation. Just love gets expressed as the default response. That's a true fourth density state of consciousness. So going back to the idea that relationship is where your power is expressed, like your creative power. We talked about that last week, right? That abundance only exists in relationship. Lack only exists when you sever relationship and become separate from the universe. But when you engage in relationship, aka giving and receiving, abundance becomes your natural state. Because everything you give must be received in like quantity. And in fact, probably even more so. There's certain Bible verses that allude to this idea that we can't ever outgive God. And so the more we give, God gives us back, a double portion of what we gave out. And that's why there's a power to it, right? It grows and grows and grows as we live as beings of love. As we give service, it comes back to us in spiritual fruition. Our state of being starts expanding. Our frequency starts elevating so that we actually feel that bliss happening within us. We feel the presence of love in every moment. And there's this innate, natural longing to give that love that we feel inside, like a cup that runs over, right? Psalm 24 talks about this. You anoint my head with oil and my cup overflows. Anointing is the holiness. The cup that overflows is the love. Yeah? Love and holiness are synonyms. So we each hold the power of the Creator within us. Just like Jesus said, all power in heaven and in earth has been given to me. We each hold that power, right? But it's only expressed in relationship because being in relationship are one. And I know I keep repeating this, but it's one of those things that we have to hear it many, many times over before it starts to drill down and sink in. Being in relationship are one. So to realize that you are already in relationship to everything, everywhere, all the time, is to realize your creative power. Now, this would be like an elementary concept to a higher density being, 4th, 5th, 6th density beings. Because as we know through the law of one, the physical vehicle, the actual body that these higher density beings live within is basically a pure light body. And so their body is at such a high frequency that they could think in their mind of anywhere that they want to travel in the universe, and boom, quantum leap to that place in the universe. And that's because they know that they're connected to the whole universe. They know that they're in relationship to the whole universe. And we can know that too, right? But their physical body can actually operate on that frequency of consciousness and carry out the thought. Whereas this 3rd density vehicle, maybe it's a bit denser, a bit slower in vibration. So maybe it can't respond like that, like a higher density body can. But of course, there are beings who have learned how to do this, even in the physical body. Jesus was one of them. We talked about Ma Avatar Babaji this week in the community, and he's another one who can and has learned how to do that. But nevertheless, you are in relationship to the whole universe, and your awareness of that is how your power can be expressed. How does healing happen, right? When Jesus would lay hands on the sick and they recovered, you and I can heal as well, just like Jesus did. How does that happen? By knowing that the same life that lives in me, the same power, the same divinity that is in me is also in this person's body right now, is also permeating every cell of this body. And so in actuality, though the mind may be sick, in truth, in spirit, this body is perfect. It is already in perfect harmony in heaven with God. And so if I see that, the quantum realm can respond to that seeing. And we call that healing. But it's not really healing anything from the spiritual plane. Everything's eternal. We have that power within us to create our reality, to be the authors of our reality. How do we be the author of our reality? By the way in which we decide to engage in relationship to everything. I mean, you're in relationship to your career, you're in relationship to your social media pages, to who you're being on social media, to who you're being in your relationship with your spouse or your child, like the full spectrum of the human experience all consists of relationship everywhere. You can't avoid this fact, right? So you might as well start getting busy being curious how you can bring out more of your authenticity, more of your unique divinity, more of your unique expression and gifts and talents. That's how God shines through you. So because God is service to life and life is service to God, God is relationship. So your ability to be in a holy, loving relationship is therefore your ability to be godlike. Simple, right? Your ability to be in holy relationship, loving relationship, is your ability to be godlike. Do you think you could ever heal someone without loving them first? Good luck. No connection, no relationship without love. So you are powerful only as God is powerful, in love. Yeah, love is power. Any degree of specialness that we have in our relationships is a limitation of our power. Any degree of specialness. So we just want to be on alert for those places in our life where specialness is still coming out. And remember, specialness doesn't just mean a pedestalized idol type of relationship, a clinging relationship. It also means a resisting relationship. It also means being in aversion to something. That's another kind of specialness. So we just want to be on the lookout all throughout our day of where am I not being loving in a relationship to something? Where is attraction or aversion coming out? Because that's a special relationship and that's a limitation of my power. It just becomes a very simple equation, right? We already know what we want. And so when we can see where what we want is available, it makes that thing so natural to us, right? So our only power is in being loving, because this is what reveals our true and eternal nature. And that's why it's called the holy relationship, because the prime creator is being revealed in us through relationship. So take this into a very practical, tangible demonstration in your life. I give you these concepts to help the understanding, solidify a little bit more, to give us a framework for why and what this conversation means. But truly, you guys, all these conversations we have don't really mean anything if you're not taking it into your life in action, right? If you're not attempting to be in loving relationship and putting that into practice, just like meditation or anything else, these calls can only do you so much good, right? These lessons, these lectures, everything in 40 University can only do you so much good until the application of it happens. And then I'm telling you, you don't need a teaching, you don't need a curriculum, you don't need lessons. When you're really in full gear, putting these practices to work in your life. So always like to remind us of that as often as possible. Embodiment is our aim here, yeah?
Hey everyone, thank you for watching today's video. I hope that you were truly blessed by it. And I wanted to let you know that I'm really excited to now be partnering with an amazing conscious supplement company called ORGANIFI. A lot of you know that I'm also passionate about holistic health and nutrition, and ORGANIFI has been a staple in my daily health routine for a very long time. They make the most delicious, organic, and high-quality superfood products that I've ever come across. And as you know, a healthy body is a great benefit for spiritual growth, because the health of your body directly translates to the health of your mind. Everything is connected. So feeding your body with high vibrational superfoods straight from the earth is one of the best ways to create that environment for a healthy mind. But getting all the superfoods that your body needs in one day can admittedly be a little bit tough. And that is where ORGANIFI can add a ton of value to your life. I personally start every day off with green, which is ORGANIFI's really delicious blend of 11 superfoods like ashwagandha, chlorella, and moringa. And then in the middle of the day, I'll usually have a scoop of red, which is a delicious energy blend full of 13 adaptogens and antioxidants from berries to recharge your mind and body with a delicious blend of organic superfoods. Your body is an amazing organic machine, but it needs the right fuel and signals to function at its best. And Red is full of adaptogens sourced from organic herbs and medicinal mushrooms. And these are compounds that balance hormones, prime your energy pathways, and alleviate stress. So instead of crushing your adrenal system with huge doses of caffeine every day, adaptogens work with your body and give you natural, sustained energy all throughout the day. What's most important to me though about ORGANIFI is the way that they go above and beyond to ensure the cleanest and purest ingredients in all of their products. They are USDA certified organic, non-GMO, gluten-free, certified glyphosate-free, and absolutely zero fillers. So I never go anywhere without ORGANIFI, and I never miss a day without taking it. And ORGANIFI is offering a super generous discount of 20% off of your entire order when you use the coupon code Abke at checkout. So if you want to upgrade your health regimen with ORGANIFI, you can click on the link in the description box below to learn more about all the amazing products that they offer. And I promise you that your mind and your body are going to thank you for it.